Now, more wine wisdom. It's Twisted Cork Radio with Jimmy and Miss Fox on 860 KKAT.
Welcome back to Twisted Cork Radio, where we are discovering some wines that are great for gifts just in time for all of those holiday parties for you. I am really excited to talk about this red that we've got. Jimmy, what do we got over there? What are we doing?
Man, we got a nice red wine. I just got done tasting it. This is Marquis. Well, I'm going to have you say the name of the wine. You say it better than me.
Marques de Cáceres.
Nice.
Rioja.
It's from Rioja. This is Spanish red from the Rioja wine growing region. And the term crianza we're going to talk about, it's an indicator of age, how long the wine's been aged before release. In fact, we have, we're very fortunate. We have the 2014 vintage here that we're assessing. And I like this winery. The family, they're Spanish, moved to France after the Spanish Civil War. There, as the generations passed down, two of the boys, Henri and his brother, took over two Bordeaux's that were abandoned. So they started making, and they became some of the more prominent Bordeaux's in Bordeaux, France. They then returned to Spain and just doing some really knockout work there in the Rioja wine growing region. In fact, you know, I always like seeing when people outsource something to start up, and you're really bringing in the big guns. Yeah, they were successful winemakers, businessmen in the wine world, but yet they even were smart enough to say, you know what, we're going to get the professor from the University of Bordeaux in the enology department to come and consult for us when we open this up, when they did in the 70s.
Sweet.
Isn't it cool?
That's so amazing. And, you know, that is a path that many Bordeaux winemakers took when in the late 1800s, early 1900s. Many of them, as the phylloxera plague got all into the vines in France, it wasn't yet into Spain. And so many of those winemakers came down, and Rioja is one of the closest regions to the Bordeaux area of France. So they would end up in Rioja. And it's so interesting that these guys went out to France, learned, and then came back to Rioja. I love that. And brought in a French guy to consult with them. Today,
Michel Roland is their managing consultant, and that name may sound familiar. He is a globe-trotting wine consultant, very charismatic character. I've not met him. However, I have studied him, follow him. And if you remember, if not, it's a fun movie. It's not an edge of your seat movie, but the Mondovino. Have you ever heard of that movie? Yeah, no. Mondovino. Put it this way: it was in 2004 when it came out. I have it on both VHS and CD, no, DVD rather. Yeah. Unfortunately, I
like it.
Like, ooh, VHS, cool.
I'm so happy you still have that. I mean, those have long gone into
Mondovino is a movie that he's featured in about the globalization of wine. And the argument there is, if you taste a Malbec, as an example, from Argentina versus a Malbec from somewhere else in the world, is it going to be tasting different? Where the homogenization of wine production, globalization of wine production, it's from the perspective of, hey, are we losing terroir? Are we moving away? But it's fun to see. That movie's, 16 years old. I think I'll watch it over the holiday period and revisit it, because it's neat to see where the industry has turned into like natural wines, and now there's this big swing coming out of, hey, we want a wine to taste like where it's from, and this Rioja does. This Tempranillo. This is solid. This is a solid one. 90%
Tempranillo, 10% quote other varietals. So whatever else they happen to get into the basket accidentally.
Us, them.
But as you were saying earlier about the crianza, so when you're looking at a Spanish wine, and often in the wines that we're looking at that aren't Spanish, you will see all sorts of reserve, special proprietor blend, all these different marketing terms, and they don't really have any kind of official designation. Well, crianza Reserva and Gran Reserva out of Spain actually do have legal parameters, and they have to follow those in order to use those names. And so in this case, Crianza has to be 1 year in oak in Spain in the winery, and then it has to sit 1 year in the bottle before they even let it get out of the winery, which is amazing. And then you've got Reserva, which is 1 year on oak, 2 years sitting there in the bottle, and then Gran Reserva, 2 years in oak, 3 years in the bottle. So it's actually 5 minimum.
And these are minimum thresholds.
These are minimum.
Many of the producers exceed it. There's just that, base guideline, right?
They have to have this, but then they'll keep it for an extra year if they don't feel it's ready. So what is I just love your choice here. It's such a great gift wine because this is already got some age on it. People, they might not know wine very well, but they know that if they get a 2014 wine, it's different than a 2018 wine.
Right,
They'll be like, wow, this is impressive.
This is a budget-friendly, this is a wallet-friendly, pocketbook-friendly, I guess is the term, pocketbook-friendly wine. It comes in at under $15.
Yes.
2014 and 15 are released on the market. Those are the current vintages, current release. So already, like you're pointing out, you're getting a wine with some heritage, I guess, or some vintage, some age on it. And it's always fun to not only as a gift for that, but when you receive this wine, it's got enough spiciness to it, tannins. It's got this dryness, but it's not a super full heavyweight. I refer to Tempranillo Riojas in this case as kind of like a Pinot Noir with an attitude. It's it falls into that red fruit profile with your cherry and your cranberry.
Yes.
But this is going to be a little bit more like drier cranberry, dried strawberry, drier cherry pit coming through with the tannin, that kind of a thing. So it's a little bit of a drier style Pinot Noir, if you will. That's how this Tempranillo behaves. And as a gift, you got the age on it to show some quality. And then you also, if you pop this open, it's going to go great with your apps, your meats, your cheeses. What is the Manchego Spanish cheddar, moderately dried for a bit? That with this wine, forget it. The saltiness in that cheese will really lower the tannins in this, and that fruit will really drive forward, making the wine appear fruitier. It'll be delicious. It'll be a great one. Or, as many times happen, I just came across last week a wine that I got as a gift. It had some of the ribbon around it, and it was curled. And I must have gotten this years ago because even the ribbon was brittle.
Okay.
So I was like, I looked at it, I'm like, oh my God, what a fun wine. It was a moderately priced wine, but man, it's got 7 years on it. So we're going to open it up this holiday. So I just stuff like that. So can you imagine opening this wine? It'll only improve. It'll only show more. And the label's beautiful, and depending on your price point, I think even the Gran Reserva is under 40. Nice.
And Marqués de Caceres is a brand. It's often near or next to Marqués de Riscal, which is a neighboring property when I was there in Spain. Marqués de Riscal is actually a very, 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 very large organization. Marqués de Caceres, even though it's just right down the street from the Marqués de Riscal, the Marqués de Caceres is actually, everything's hand harvested. It is still family owned. It is literally this little guy, but they do such a fabulous job. So I love the fact that you can put this alongside any food, and it's going to play friendly with it. And I think your friends would love this. This is such a great choice. And it's 13.5% alcohol. So
that's right in there, right?
Right, perfect in there, not too high, so you don't have anybody, dancing in your hot tub after your party. So
that's how Grandma got run over.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, is that what happened?
Too much.
I never really knew the full story with that. Yeah. But this Crianza is my house wine. I'll have a bottle of this always at my house.
Nice.
I will pull it out, and it goes with literally everything that I'm serving.
This is your countertop wine.
This is my countertop. Yeah, house wine.
Always one banging around on top of the countertop. Yeah, this is a fun wine. It'll go depending on what your family traditions are. I know I threw out their Manchego, but if you have something definitely fun to have when people come over. You know you're going to have apps. This could be your house red or a style like this, but this is a great one. I can't wait to show you the next one, Miss Fox.
Yeah, I see that sitting over there. It's a wine we've explored before, but it deserves to be revisited because, man, it is one stylish wine, and it's being recognized all over the world. So thanks, and I'm looking forward to seeing and tasting that.
Hi, this is Jimmy.
And Miss Fox.
Check out our latest podcast on twistedcorkradio.com and find out more about wines of the week. Now a wine fun fact from Miss Fox.
Thank you, Jimmy. All right, it's party time, and you'll get this when I say it right now, wine mouth. You know, the type of teeth that look like you have been feasting and you're a vampire. It's that black gorgeousness that comes over your mouth towards the second hour or two of a party. And it comes from 3 different things in the wine. 1, there are anthocyanins, and those are the things in wine that cause it to be red or purple. And those anthocyanins get right there on top of your teeth. Then 2, guess what? Tannin in red wine. It's great stuff, but it also helps the wine color stick to your teeth. The tannin does. That astringency, it sticks it right to your teeth. And 3rd, because of another factor, it's really a problem, is the acid in almost all wines is pretty darn high. And so that acid is kind of helping etch that color into your teeth. So there's some things you can do ahead of time or during a party to help yourself. 1, brush your teeth before you get there, because the the red color does not connect as well to clean teeth. 2, choose light-bodied reds. Light-bodied reds are not going to give you that color, so don't go in for a Malbec if you can, because that's got some purple that's just not going to leave. Then bring a little piece or 2 of white paper towel, and when you go to the restroom, just take that paper towel out and wipe the film off your teeth. And I'm not kidding you. You will, it stops collecting there for a minute, and then you can go back in and grab another glass of red wine and just start the process again. But that is the wine fun fact for this social season, Jimmy.
Thanks, Miss Fox, for that wine fun fact.
Every Saturday and Sunday at 10 o'clock in the morning.
On 860 KKAT.
Fill your glass and join us at twistedcorkradio.com.